Ordinary Public. This is the 88th session of the Thought Process Program by the People's Goal. This is the 7 p.m. Myanmar time. In this program, we will talk about the very topic regarding why they leave the military, and we will talk about the story of the defectors. Myanmar public never experienced freedom, liberty. What it is the military that is supposed to protect the people actually shed the blood of its own people. There were coup d'etat throughout all the history, and in recent coup d'etat, since that day, thousands of the soldiers left the military, joining the hands of the public. According to the People's Embrace program of the National Unity Government statistic, there are over 4,000 soldiers defecting. So this is the most historic figure in terms of the number of defecting in the history. Defection, it's the specific strategy of the revolution that has less bloodshed. It has been almost 3 years that we are in this revolution, but the defection still, the momentum of the defection is still very high. Even in 2023 alone, there are defectors joining the side of the revolution, joining the side of the public, together with arms and weapons and everything, in order to have much stronger defection momentum. We would like to talk about their story. We would like to learn about their belief, and we would like to know about the roles of the women, the wives, which are very much critical to make such a decisions of defection. We have panelists, Do Chochoe, wives of the CDM surgeon. We have Coco Nine, the CDM privates, and we have So Naing Wen, CDM captain. I am Sut Sain Thue from Kachin State Civilian Movement. I will serve as the facilitator. I would like to request that each and every panelist to introduce themselves by taking 2 minutes of their time. So now I would like to invite Auntie Cho to introduce yourself. Thank you. Minglawa to all of you. Although I am saying Mingalaba, which is literally very auspicious greeting, but I don't think that we are in auspicious time. But just for the formality's sake, I will just greet you, Mingalaba, because the public, this program, all of you are very auspicious people. So that's why, although the time is not right to say auspicious time, but I greet you with auspiciousness. Thank you. Now I would like to invite Coco Nine, the CDM private, to introduce yourself. I am with the number private number 12876. I am the CDM private. Thank you. Now I would like to invite Win Nine So, the CDM captain, to introduce herself. Can you hear us? can you please introduce yourself? Minglaba to all of you.
ကျွန်တော်
I
CDM ပြုလုပ်တာ
am the CDM captain Winine So.
ပေါ့နော်မြန်မာနို
It
င်ငံမှာ
has
စိတ်ဝင်
been 2 months and 14 days that I joined in the defection movement. It is very interesting time that we all are experiencing. The world is
စိတ်ဝင်စားဖို့
watching
ကောင်း
us.
လို့
The world is watching Myanmar. The world is interested in us in terms of what will happen next. So it is very important that each and every one of us
ပဲ
have
ဖွဲ့စ
to
ည်းရတဲ့အတွက်
walk
တာဝန်ရှိတဲ့အတွက်
together in this revolution. So
အား
this
လုံးကျေးဇူးတင်ပါတယ်လို့
is
ဥပါ
the
နော်
defection movement that show me the light for my future. Thank you very much to this program for inviting me to be in here. Thank you. Now let's proceed with the round of discussion. We'll have the first round of discussion, then after that we'll have a second round and we'll have a Q&A sessions after each round. First, I would like to invite Captain Winine So. I would like to ask you to discuss about your decision to leave the military and what is your belief and what is your attitude to be with the side of the people.
တက်တယ်
Thank you.
အဲ့မှာဒီနေ့တက်ကြတဲ့ကျွန်တော်
Well,
ဒီနေ့တက်နေတဲ့ကာလတွေမှာတော့ဒါ
I
ဂျပန်ကတကယ်တ
was
ယောက်
in the training.
ဒီတက်ထဲမှာကြာရင်မနေဘူးလို့
I
အဲ decision ချတဲ့
was in Japan and
မြောက်ပိုင်း
I told to my friends there
ကာလအတွင်းမှာ
that I
ဒီ
may
နော်
not
ကျွန်တော်
be with military for long.
မှာ
But it was in Shan State that I made a very explicit decision that I will leave the military. I was promoted as the captain then, and I was giving leadership position. All the leaders are closely watched by our superior.
ဒါတိုင်းရှင်
So
စာသားလေးပေါ့နော်
what I'm trying to say is that um,
ဘယ်သူကပူနိုင်
there was a song in Myanmar that
ငါးစီ
the life is a competing life. So I remember this song, having my experience as a leadership because
ပွဲအတွက်
it is a very demanding position. It is a very competing position among ourselves. We have the commanders.
ကွန်မန်နိုင်နိုးရှူတာ
The commander
ခေါင်းဆောင်ဆို
constantly watched us. The commander, of course, did not um, use in the battlefield.
ဘယ်ထိတက်
The
လိုက်
commanders
ဖိုင်လုံးနေ
does analysis.
ဘာပြန်လို့
Commander
ဒါမျိုးတွေ
does the
Yeah,
visual
yeah.
battling.
ချင်းနဲ့မြ
So
ကျွန်တော်တို့
the commander constantly having the mind picture
ကာလ
for all this strategy, tactics, and everything. So
မိမ
we are watched
နေဆိုင်
by
ရှိရလို့
this commander,
မြေကောင်းနဲ့မှာထဲပေါ့နော်
and the commander told me that to forget everything, to forget the loved one, just to emphasize only on the battlefield. I was told that the enemy spirit is very high and the military spirit is getting low. So we were told like that.
ကျွန်တော်
And the commander says that never ask me back, just do what you are told. I feel like a slave. I am not a slave. I don't like this kind of treatment. They torture
အချိန်မှာ
the public. They torture the people that they have to protect.
တက်ပြီးတော့မြစ်သေးရင်လား
And the military leadership never encourage the soldier on the ground. All they are saying is that just do what you are told. I don't like that at all. In
ပြောခဲ့တာပေါ့နော်ကျွန်တော်အဲ့ဒါ
my
ကျွန်တော်ဒီလို
time in the military, I try to ask questions, I try to evaluate, and I try to be critical, but they don't like that kind of attitude. So I just have to do what I was told. So basically, what happened is that I feel that I am digging my own
အခြေအနေမကောင်းဘူး
grave day by day. But I feel it's all about to
လေ့
live
ကျင့်
or
ထား
to
တယ်
die.
လေ့ကျင့်ထားတယ်လေ့ကျင့်မှုမပြေဝဘူး
And what happened is that we are trained to live, but there are times that we
ဒီဆိုရင်
cannot protect our own life in the battlefield. So there are also soldiers on the ground that they are drinking as if that they are having picnic at the front lines because they are depressed. But not only the soldiers,
ကျွန်တော်ရဲ့အထက်အကြီးကဲကျွန်
the
တော်ရဲ့
lowest of the rank, but also the leadership are having this kind of attitude as well. And sometimes I have a very difficult position between my subordinate and my superiors by having this kind of attitude from both of their sides. I just would like to give you one of an example that some of my subordinates were having argument, and that argument escalated as a fight, and that fight involved shooting against each other.
အပြည့်ပိုင်းဆက်လို့မပိုင်း
So in order to resolve
မယ်လို့ကျွန်တော်စတဲ့မှာ
the
လည်းကျွန်တော်
problems between them, what could happen is that they, if they don't like my intervention between them, they will shoot me because they have guns.
ကြားတယ်ပြီးရင်စွန့်ပတ်တဲ့ကိုဂဲ
So
နဲ့
what
တောက်တယ်
happened is that there was shooting,
ဒီလိုတန်ကြားတာကို
and I
ဘာမှမလုပ်တဲ့
heard that
အဲ့လို
somebody
မျိုး
shot,
တောင်းမှုတွေနဲ့
but my superior
ဟိုကပဲအကုန်လုံးအခြေအနေရရကို
were completely in panic.
ထိမ့်ပြခဲ့ရတာပေါ့နော်
They did not know how to control the situation of
နေချင်းစိတ်
their subordinates fighting against each other. I completely find it ridiculous that the leadership could not intervene such kind of
အဲ့လို
incident.
ဒီလို
So I had all this thought that this is
ကို
not what I want to be in this situation.
ပြတယ်
So I start questioning myself. So if I don't like to be in this kind of situation, what will be the situation of the opposite side, meaning the revolutionary side?
အဲ့လိုဟိုအကြောင်းအရာတွေနဲ့ပေါ့နော်ဟိုစစ်တပ်ကတွေ့ကျင်တာတော့အများကြီးပဲပေါ့
So
နော်ဒါ
anyway,
အေးရကြ
having this sort of thoughts,
ပြောရဆိုရင်တော့
what I would like to say
ကျွန်တော်
is that
စစ်တပ်မှာ
politically speaking, I
ဆုတ်ခွာခဲ့တာပေါ့အဲ့လိုပဲပြောရအောင်ဟုတ်
do not see any value
တာ
to
ဝန်
be in this military. I want to live the life that is valuable,
စစ်သားနေပြီးတော့
that is responsible for the position that I carried out.
ဒီဘာလို့မလဲ
So I want to protect the people. I want to be with the people.
မကြိုက်ခဲ့ဘူး
And
ဒီမှာနိုင်ငံ
I never really like the military activities showing off that they are having some sort of
နေလို့
philanthropic activities, which is not true. I don't like that.
အားမ
I
ဝင်
never
တယောက်ဒီ
am impressed with this kind of show off activity of the military even before the coup d'etat. I want to be a professional soldiers, but it was not the case. What they are doing now to the people
ကြောင်နေရလေအဲ့တော့ဒီထဲမှာထင်တာမို့
make
ဒါကဒီ
the
ထဲ
public hate them so much. So this is such a pain that I have inside of me. So that's why I don't want to be in this military.
သုံးပါခဲ့တဲ့အကြောင်းရင်းတွေ
So in short,
ဖြည်းဖြည်း
what
ချင်း
I
နဲ့ပေါ့
will
နော်
say
ကြိုက်ဘူးဒါ
is
မကြိုက်
that
ဘူးဒါမကြိုက်ဘူး
there are many reasons that I leave the military. It is not one off decision, or it is not an ad hoc decision that I leave the military. There are accumulations of all the reasons, negativities to leave the military. Thank you. Thank you very much for your contribution. What I hear you very clearly is that you leave the military because you want to protect people. The military has no such value and attitude that they protect the people. So that's why you leave the military. You are right. In the past, in this Union of Myanmar, there are diverse community. We are coming together in this union, but there are all sort of discrimination, ill treatment to the people by the military. So now the people really witness clearly that the military treat its own people very badly. So that's why those soldiers who got clear mind now join in this defection movement. So whenever we talk with soldiers in the front line, we realize that they are like a zombies. So they have no, if I may say so, human impression or expression on on the on their face. So they are treated very inhumanely. So that's why they don't really act like a normal human being. When they are told to stand up, they would do so with a very blank facial expression. When they are told to sit down, they would sit down with a blank expression. This is how they were treated by the military. What you are saying is that this military does not practice any human value. The whole thing needs to be changed. So that's why you don't appreciate to be in military anymore. So that's why you defect. That is what we clearly heard from you. Now I would like to give the floor to CGM Private Coco 9. I would like to know why you leave the military. You are ex-soldier. What was your experience? You witness the lowest rank of the military personnel. So what is the experience of the lowest rank in the military? So can you please share all of this? Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear us, Private Kunai? Private Kunai? Kunai, can you hear us? Yes, yes, I can hear you. Oh. Shall I give you the question again? Yes, please. So I would like to know first, like the reason, because you're a CDM soldier and you serve in the military as a private, as a record file. You have gone through this. So what is your experience in the military? What was your experience in the regiment as a serving private, and as well as why did you leave the military? I I left the military because we have fought in many battles, and that we have lived, in a very suffer. We have lived like we're literally starved in the front line. Sometimes we don't even have water to drink, and that that I joined the military with my brother, but my brother was killed in action, and then so I was really fed up after too many things, and that's why I have left the military and joined the senior movement. Hope you can hear me. Yes, yes, I can hear you. Can you continue to share? So that's why. And another reason is that in many of the fighting took place in the villages, and then they will be asking you that will be that that villages will be we have to ban out the villages, and people who shouldn't be killed were killed as well. It is really sad, and then also it also made me depressed because I don't know what is right or what is wrong, and I don't know how to distinguish what is right or what is wrong. We have to follow the order. So now I started to think what is right or what is wrong, because that and that's also is the reason why I joined the CDM movement. Thank you. Please continue. So for me, I don't want to stay in the military anymore. So that I joined the CDM movement. And then also that I also is as a CDM, I also have the support. So it's quite very different to what I have experienced also. This is really is very different. Okay, in that case, can I while Gogona is speaking, that I would also like to, while we are listening and to you, I would like to show you a video. And this video was one of the videos is in one of the, the fight that is about it as well. That it is about the prisoners of war from the military. So I would like to share with you, and then I would like to follow up the question as well. So organizers, please, can you play the video? So in this video, you'll see that in the front lines, you'll see the people are starving, like you're saying, that they don't have access to food supplies, not water. That according to the information we have heard from the front lines, is that there are often the issues of issues of food supplies, logistics, and that they are not, they do not meet the basic necessity as a simple human being, and that's what we are facing on the ground, and that so this is what we are hearing from the revolutionary that are forces, that the soldiers are living in horrible conditions. And if you look at the soldiers as well, that that their moral is extremely low, as you can see that if you look at their age, for example, like and they are not young, and that they are old, they should be rest, they should be not be fighting on the ground. But if we look at it in the past few years, that are for the military, and that that they are we have been hearing from them about that the military is pushing that older people, older soldiers to serve on the front lines. Are they being forced to join the front line? How do you overcome the such challenges? Can you also share what are the what are the challenges staying inside the military as as a foot soldier, Kokonai? Can you share your experience? Yes. Well, it is situation. I would like to say situation is really, really bad in the front lines. Okay. Well, for us, it's really bad right now. That if you look at the Jino area, Dano area also the situation is bad as well. They for living or when when the columns are deployed as well, they are in a horrible situation as well. If it is in the open season, what is apart from the rainy season, again very difficult because you cannot even get water as well, and that it really you have to really suffer to live through this as well. And also when you are fighting with the enemy as well, and that is hard. It's difficult because you never win, and that in such situation because it's also hard because our side always take a lot of losses, so it is make it really hard. So when without the supplies, without any kind of winning, it's really hard for to be a soldier in the front line. Thank you, Brave Kokonai. So you have shared that as a foot soldier, that the challenges you also have shared, the hardship of facing in the front line as well, and that as a human being, and that we all have the basic needs to survive on a daily basis. We should be have a safety, relative safety, as well as being able to live and to be able to have enough food to be able to eat to survive. But when you become a soldier, it is as if you have to sacrifice your basic humanity as a human being. You are entitled to food and rest, but you are not anymore if you're a soldier. And then they give you this protection of the assignment, and then you are pushed on the front lines to push further ahead as well. That I'm sure if when you when you look at it, when you were seeing that, when you watch this the clip from the KIA, we can see that they are exhausted and that they are starving and that they don't have a nutritious food and that they don't look like human beings and that they seem weak, unable to be able to. But at the same time, that for the to what extent is the military accountable or responsible for this soldier from the military hunter? Is very clear that how should and it is a question that also just need to ask, like, to what extent are you going to serve? Are you going to be loyal to us to an institution that is not looking for you, or that is not accountable to you? And that is an important question we should be asking. Next, I would like to invite another speaker, is Siamat Nadichu. So I would like to ask you, Madi Chu, that your husband had also have joined the CDM movement, and that and also for him, when he started thinking about the joining the civil disobedience movement as a wife, how did you encourage him as well, when for a soldier to be able to left the military, to the support of the wife, the encouragement as well as on the strength of the woman is also plays an important role. Can you share with us how important that is, or how you have supported your husband? Yes, for my husband, that I would say like military hunter, it is a dictator. So that I didn't have to push my husband to leave the military dictators, because we are of like-minded couple. And that even before the coup, that even before the election, that we're of the same mind. We don't, before, now they call it the SAC, but before they call it the military, we call it the military. But we have been thinking about leaving the military even before that as well. Since 2015, we tried to leave the military. We tried once. We tried once, but it was not. We're not. Our efforts were in vain. We're not successful. We are not able to leave the military. So from there, we try to. We have to survive to just we cannot leave, so we have to stay on and survive. And then the military becomes that dictators, and they conducted the military coup, and that so I started to join the CDM movement first. I joined the CDM first, and then when I joined the CDM, the movement, and then I have to think about my families and relatives and say that that they was my husband also say that yes, go and then join the CDM movement. You can start the CDM movement and then do whatever you have to do. And that's how we has supported the family. And then what I do enjoy the CDF movement is because that what we do the work that we have been doing as well. That, for example, like there the military accused, falsely accused that there has been the electoral frauds in the voting station, and then we walk in the voting station, we supported in that electoral process, and we know that it's wrong. So that's why we joined the CDM movement. And then I also help my husband and also push him, and also I also encourage him so that he can leave the military as well. He can join the CDM movement as well. So that so I have that people from that we have also their friends and families. They also help us as well. That they are all if to join the CDM, but there's some people also say that and that there are also people saying that if you join the CDM movement, it will be very difficult as well. But at the time, I follow him, and then that try to join him as well. That because so that it is also so they were saying that what the military did was, if you join the CDM movement, you are not allowed to come to the red. I joined, and at the time we were still in the military, but I know that he want I tried to go in there, although they do not allow me because I have joined the CDM movement. You're not a CDMI is not allowed to, but I try to help him to be able to join, but he can't. So I and my child came back. We're living outside the military, so that putting. So either I think I didn't have to pressure him. I didn't have to encourage him, but I also have to help him and help him that to be able, so that for them to be able to leave the military, we need a lot of efforts to bring him out as well. I didn't have to encourage him. I didn't have to push him, but to get him out, we have to do a lot of we have to dedicate a lot of energy and the resources into it. So it is incredible to hear a story that you are of the like-minded of your husband, and that you had supporting him as well. So thank you for sharing that. We are at the end of our first round of questions. We'd like to go to the second round, and then after the second round, I will give the questions to other speakers so that we can set aside some time to respond to the questions. And we have received quite a few in the chat box as well. So, and for the second part of our questions, I would like to invite Captain Wenaiso. So, as a CDM soldier who have left the military hunter, and then you have joined the people's side, what are you proud of being a CDM? As a civilian, what are the differences in the new normal? What kind of challenges have you gone through, or what kind of challenges have you overcome? Thank you for the question. When I left the military, that so that rather than being proud of, I think is what is important, rather than the you know that what I notice is that I'm no longer in. I think I should be proud of the fact that I'm not where people don't want me to be. I think that's important, and that I'm no longer that's, I think, is important. I am not doing what the people don't want me to do. That I am I'm proud of the fact that I'm not against the will of the people. I'm not against the mind of the people. So that what's the difference as a civilian? I can say that it's very, very different here, living here, because here I used to, as an officer, I had responsibilities, but here I have to. So some people also soldiers say that they that so they also say that they some of them feel also that's a bit of a looking down discrimination. That is true. It's true, because among this, if you're an officer in the military, you are being that discriminated, or looked down upon, as it happens as well. We became officers from the soldiers, from the foot soldiers, so that sometimes we are even looked down, even if you are at the same office, same say you have the same position, you are looked down, you're discriminated, because you came from the background of a non-commissioned officer as well. And that that when you are an officer who came from the background of an officer, from the foot soldier, that wherever you are being discriminated against as well. That it's like that. And also that I also would like to talk about this historic school as well, that as a soldier, that as a soldier, after attending that training, I didn't finish the training, and I checked that I also, so because I have finished my matriculation, so I joined it. And at that it was in Hopo that I attended the officer training school, and I attended that as well. So that training school was in fact that there were also a lot of tragic events as well. Before I joined the Hopo officer training school, that before there was a training schools in a GDI school in Piuli as well. That was at the Kenyan period, so that was a long time ago. And that Kenyo General Kenyo at the time was the head of the military intelligence, and they want to build that military ordnance factory in Mimu, so that they what the Kenyo did was that they allowed that if you when you finish high school, that you can join that as well. And that so we were also that that we only, but we didn't know about the opportunity, and we just joined it after once we joined as well. Because I came from Mogwe as a quiet area. Mogwe as a quiet area used to be there. They call it, according to the military color code, that these are the white region. That is a peaceful. There are no problems. So there was no resistance as well. And that the military even doesn't have a regiment. Military had never come inside our villages. It was not like in the ethnic areas. It was a peaceful. It was white area. So that then what have become is that we said that they want those military ordnance units, regiments to be educated ones. So they started to recruit it as well. So we went to attend the GDI school as well. And that school was really sad because we have two a friend. That one friend joined that DSA, and one joined this that MCDI, the military ordnance school, and that engineering course as well. And that the way the training officers were given is that DSA, after attending 3 years in DSA, you become a lieutenant. You become a first lieutenant, and then you become lieutenant, and became officer. But that is that so that it is like that. So that when you go to the MCDI school, which is for the military ordnance school, if you those who attended the school, is at the highest position you can get is like a the commission officer. There's like a so like a more like a non-commissioned officer. So it can be very difficult as well. That so that that we are the same. That and that and that so there was that there was a that, there was a demonstration inside it as well. Because when they become a vice warrant officer, they are non-commissioned officers as well. So that they don't they and at the time that was in around 2012, there was a demonstration inside, but there was no media coverage. What happened is that all the students they demonstrated it. And that I want to say that this was I would say that is a incredible, because what the military do not accept that kind of demonstration. So what happened is that they they set up the machine gun, and that in front of the school. And then what they were saying, so that they killed the demonstrators. That we have seen that in front of us. So that and the other, even and I as also some of there's MCTM, that graduates joined the CDM movement. I was happy to learn that as well. And that and that in 2012 that happened. That was not and was in 2013 we joined it. But that happened before, because they were the officer to condition. The school was not in good condition because of the demonstration. That the students demonstrators were killed as well. And that so this is we have seen that happen in front of right in front of our eyes as well. That it was when I it also is that clear for us as well before. That that we have seen that in when you attend those training, it costs you about about 1 million jets. That's what when they so when they said about this, oh, military provide everything, I just want to laugh, because when you go to these trainings, you need money to survive. So it costs you a lot. And that if they follow the proper procedure and protocol, and and everything is provided as they should, then there will not be extra cost for their participants. But now the families have to support them as even when they want to go home, and that that if the military, so the soldiers should get their soldiers should get permission to go home and take rest and all that, but there is no such thing anymore. That they don't give you their food supplies, that in those the 3 days if I've served in the military, it was really is disappointing that when you're in your 30s and then you start to that look back or reflect, and you want to find a way out, you want to be able to find a way, you want to have a career, you want to be able to have a development, but you're gonna say that I don't have a hope, and that if I stay inside the military, that I will be nothing, and that I would not be anything at all. And that started to thinking, it's not like I don't have a that when I become a major, what will happen? When I become a general, what will what will happen? Because that will take years of a career, and you know that your career is not getting. I don't want the positions anymore. I don't want it, and that's why I said there's nothing left for me to do that as well. I think that when I left when I left and joined the CDM movement, people welcomed me warmly, and they also that are very supportive as well, and they so that, so there are also those who are supporting them as well. That there are also people who have been some of them my seniors also that also have been supporting us from the away from near, and there are also friends who are supporting us from far too as well. So I think it has been very much supportive as well. I think I also even put down in my diary of the support that I have from us as well. That they also have the opposition organization. They're good. They're good. I never thought that this to the extent that there's some of the people can be very gladly say that, yeah, they'll say that the military often say that, oh, they may win that they may win the battle, but they don't win the war. But I think it is important to have you have to believe in the fight, and that it is important to be that you have to be that people are saying that you have to be. I think it is important. We have to be determined. We have to be committed that we are here to win the fight, and that there should be the way we should go forward as well. What you want is the to win it, to be able to get what we want. I think it is important we have to make the sacrifice. We have to invest a lot. There are a lot of things that we have to give up to be able to achieve the goal of win. And what we sacrifice is nothing compared to others. What I'm also seeing is about the people. The people support the movement. The people are suffering. The people are in a great suffering, but yet they support the movement, and they wholeheartedly support the movement. And that's what I'm very confident about as well. And that is incredible. Because when you are determined, when you are committed, you will succeed. And it is important to do your work committedly, with a commitment wholeheartedly. It is important because that's when we say that that it is something you can see from the people, you can learn from the people. The people don't have to say it, but it's also good as well. That and I think that kind of view is something, and they say, oh, that because when the revolutionary forces are winning, the military say, oh, they are winning the battles, but they are just winning the battle, they won't win the war. But I think it is also important to think about it as well, because the other military, that like the military is a big institution. It has many forces, it has many regiments, and that they had to also have that systems as well. They also have the military ordnance units, that they also have infrastructure. They have a lot of investment going in as well, and that and we don't need to be thinking about it, because that infrastructure you can do it in it if you have the money. If you have the if you have the money, you can do it quickly as well. That if you have if you need the support as well. But what you need is that what we need to understand is that is that people do not understand. The people, sometimes the people do not understand, and then some of the people also don't understand it very clearly. In that and then also that they can also say that as well, that some people also might also have confused about it as well. I think it is important I just want to share about why people feel that why the people are not accepting the reality. I just want to share a little bit more. Yes, please go ahead if you want to share more. For the people, if you look at it, other countries that they have a lot, but the countries are supporting, and the countries have a lot of, that development, and that I think is also important to understand that, that we need to, we will be, that it is important that to understand that we are not developing as we should, as well, that, this is the military which is harming the people. It's the military which is causing all the difficulties and the problems for the people. So it is important to understand that who is making the threats against the people. I have survived, I have stayed 13 years. Also, I do have the feelings about the people. People and the institution. A military as an institution has many interconnections as well. That and that and also you are saying that if you look at it, the camp where I am, the point is that we are not far from the village, but we can only go once a week to the village as well. And that what happened also is that it was in that what happened is that at the time there's a uh at the time that that as a soldier, you cannot, you can barely survive. So soldiers in reality come from the people, come from the society. Okay, although the military made the slogan that military is the mother, military is the father of all soldiers, but in reality there are many interconnections of between the soldiers and the people. Whenever there are soldiers, there are people, and whenever there are people, there are always armed organizations as well. So there are a lot of interconnection. As what I'm saying is that there are, in terms of challenges, there are that there, I don't think there are that many challenges, because I have already think about it. I have already prepare for it as well. I know I must prepare for what I'm supposed to doing as well, so that and think you can also reach out to us so that we can help. We can also tell them and how to prepare yourself as well. That and for me, the joining the CDM movement is also with I came with the I when I left and joined the people's side. I only told the three people that I trusted most. My that my only those are my I trusted people, like my senior, and a friend, and somebody that I really trust. So that only these people, that when I meet with them, because some people say that, do you have any regrets? I would say that I want to love. When they ask me, do you have any regrets? Because I know what is happening, and that how the situations are changed, and that I know what is happening as well, and that so for me is that it is what is happening in inside the military. I'm sure there are also a lot of issues. There are a lot of difficulties as a soldier, like as a like a full soldier. He was just as a soldier, you're starving when you don't get the logistic or supplies as well. And that what these soldiers, like you show the video, because they are starving, because there are other soldiers which are causing them to starve as well. For example, like no, they don't have many. If they don't have many, then they have the difficulty. And then if you don't, then what happened is that these soldiers were also, they will be among the soldiers, they will be playing cards, and then there was somebody who will be cashiers, who will be cheating at you, and those have lost all this money, so that that's why they're starving. They cannot even buy it as well. As a soldier, when you die, that even when you die, when an enemy dies, you get money. Yeah, if you at that time, when an enemy die and you provided, and if you have a funeral for your enemy, you get as well that when you have an enemy, as if that's a military, you can also provide the funerals, and that you can get money for it as well for that. And also, if you have to do it systematically, properly, Kelly, and you also have to when you share the information with the back with that that military give you the money back for, even for the funeral. So that there is a lot of support from the military, that for the according to your position, according to your different activities, and there are a lot of kind of financial support from the on the military side, that I just want to share without that about the office, what I want to share about was that the issues that we have as well, that there are also challenges as a soldier I have faced, because it is important to learn your lessons. That if you don't learn your lessons, then you might be that one day, that time, before the time, before the time arrives, you might also be lose opportunity as well. And then some people say that, oh, they are the same, or they would be this, they know they would be acted the same, but sometimes they don't, people don't hear the feelings as well. How does that often there, because that this frustration, or the frustration, or that that the sense of injustice is the strongest. Whenever people feel there is a sense of injustice, and then people will fight, the people will give up their rights as well. And that's why I think military doesn't understand that this kind of sense of injustice or the feelings as well, and that's maybe why the reason is as well. Thank you for Captain Wenaiso for sharing. I think it's quite valuable that you share about the experience inside the military, as well as on what's happened, what had happened in that in the military training school. Thank you very much indeed for sharing. And next, I would like to that I would like to invite Private Kukunai, that I would like to invite him. I said, so after you have joined the CDM movement, that any changes have happened, or that anything you have noticed, or that can you also share about the experience in while you were serving in the military, the things you have to do where you have no choice, where you cannot say no? Can you share your experiences?
Well, in my experience as a private, at the very beginning of my time joining the military, I was not sure what I was doing. I was spending my time with my friends, um, and we were hanging out at night. We were arrested. We were sent to police station. The police officer asked me if I would go to jail or if I would go to the military. Again, this is my story. To be in the military, I cannot go to the jail. There were 5 friends, including myself, who were arrested by the police just for the fact that we were hanging out at night. It's not with my own will that I joined the military. It is not my own commitment to join the military. We were forced to be in military. This is the start of my private life. It was like a month before I was sent to the battlefield. So there were 1 month between the gap. That was this 1 month gap between the time that I was arrested and the time that I was into front line. We were sent to the front line. I had no experience whatsoever. Among 5 of my friends, 3 of my friends already died in the battlefield, and my brother died already. Very tiring experience, very difficult experience in the front line. I did not know about the CDM movement. I tried to run away from the military, from the front line. I was captured by the officers. I tried once to run away from the battlefield, there is DKB. This is a unit that they chase after the defectors, and some of the defectors were shot dead by this DKB. In the video that we all watch, there were old soldiers. There are many old soldiers. They are starving. They could not walk, and some of them dropped everything and jumped out of the cliff of a mountain. I saw them doing this, and with all the backpacks, they have to carry all sort of bombs, weapons, bullets, heavy load. What I notice, what I learned is that the proper thing to do is to carry your belongings, only your belongings in your bag. But no, not in our case. There were no food, there were no dry ration. We have to carry all the things that has to do with bullets, bombs, and everything. No food. So I experienced two times. I witnessed two times actually that the soldiers drop all the heavy load that they are carrying and they jump from the mountain committing suicide. We were in a military plane, and this old soldier said that I can no longer live this life. And he jumped out of the door of a plane in a short, moment. In just a glance, he just disappeared. He was sitting near to me in the plane, in the military plane. And one soldier were captured by the military officers since he ran away. He was killed by the officers, and that officer reported to his subordinate that his soldier lost his life in the battlefield, which was not true. So what happened is that once you are in the military, they will never release you. It is the notion of this institution. And I was sent to many camps around the country. Usually you are rotating between the front line and the back lines, and if you have all the social event like funeral, weddings, you can get leave the past, but it is not the case. Even if your parent die, you cannot go to the parents' funeral. For example, one of my friends' wife got motorbike accident while coming to her soldier husband, and my friend wanted to attend to the hospital where his wife got admitted. What happened is that they did not give him such leave. In the end, The wife died in the hospital.
နောက်ပိုင်းကျွန်တော်တို့လည်းဘယ်လိုပြောမလဲဆိုတော့
So what happened is that my friend, he was very, very desperate.
အင်း
So what happened is that he wanted to run away
အထက်
from the military. We supported, I supported him with some cash.
အဲဒါကြောင့်
It is about
ကျွန်တော်လည်း
the
တော်တော်
human
လေး
life
စိတ်ကုန်ထား
that they do not treat
အခုနောက်
with
ပိုင်း
respect.
ဒီတော့
It is very depressing to be in the military.
ဘယ်လိုလုပ်မလဲငါတို့ကအခုချိန်ပြေးပါငါတို့ပဲသွားမယ်
I always have this question in my head
အဲချိန်တော့
that
CDM ရှိမရှိဆိုတာကျွန်တော်
what help that I can get from
အခုနောက်
the
ပိုင်း
military?
ကျွန်တော်
Nothing,
ဘက်
really nothing.
စခန်းတွေမှာထိုင်
Lately, what I heard is that
CDM တို့
there was the
အဲ့ဒါ
EDM
မျိုးလေးတွေတွေ့ရတယ်
movement.
အဲ့မျိုးလေးတွေကဘယ်လို
So
ကျွန်တော်အများကြီးတွေ့ရတယ်တွေ့ရတဲ့အချိန်မှာလည်းကျွန်တော်တို့
there
ပြေးတဲ့အချိန်မှာဟို
were
ပေါ့
information,
ဒီဘူးက
there was information that I received
ကျွန်တော်တို့
that I could join
ဒီ
this
က
movement.
20
Of course,
ထားလိုက်လိုက်တာ
it is very
ကျွန်တော်
risky
တို့လွတ်တာ
work.
လို့
There were 20 military trucks
ယူကကားနဲ့တော့တွေ့
that
KNU ကကားနဲ့
they
သွားတွေ့ပြီးနောက်ပိုင်း KNU က
could
ကား
use to chase one defector, which they did. But the KNU help us to
ထောင်ချလိုက်တာပေါ့
be
ခု
out
နောက်ပိုင်းကျ
of
တော့
their hands.
ဝေးကြည့်
For
ပါ
the
တင်ထောင်ချမလို့တော့
defectors, if they were arrested by the military special unit,
လုပ်လိုက်တယ်
normally they would
ဟိုအရှင်က
trial you,
တပ်လိုက်တယ်
they would
အဝေးမမြင်ဘူး
prosecute you
အရှိမှ
by
လဲ
the
တတ်ခဲ့တဲ့လူ
court
တွေ
martial,
အများကြီးပဲ
but
ဒီလို
did not
ရဲ့
do that kind of
ကျွန်တော်
process
တော့
anymore. They just kill on the
မော်လမြိုင်
spot.
မှာမော်လမြိုင်
I witnessed several of such incidents.
အဲ့မှာဖြစ်တဲ့အချိန်
It was in Molamyine.
လိုက်တဲ့အချိန်မှာကျွန်တော်
I was there,
မိတာလူ၈ယောက်မိတယ်ဗျ
and there were
အဲ့မိတဲ့
soldiers running away from the military,
ကလေးပိုင်းနေပဲအနည်း
and
ဆုံး
this they
မရှိ
are underage.
ရှိတယ်အဲ့ဒါကို
Well,
တွေ့တဲ့အချိန်မှာသူ
if
ဘာ
not
လို့လဲ
underage, they are at their
ဒီကလေးတွေကို
teens.
လက်နက်လည်းမတွေ့
They ran away from the military.
အဲ့ဒါကိုမတွေ့ဘဲနဲ့ဟို
They were
တက်တက်ခေါ်သွားပြီးလဲပြီးတော့ကလေးပိုင်းဆိုင်ရာကိုကြတော့သူ
it,
အာ၈ယောက်မိရမှာ
and
လူကြီးက
they
တော့
were arrested.
ကလေး၃ယောက်ကိုတော့
So out of 8 arrestee, 5 of them are above 18,
ဘာလက်နက်မှလည်းမတွေ့ဘူးဘာ
and 3 of them
မတွေ့
were
ဘူးမိတဲ့နေရာကို
children,
အဲ့
and the 3
အဲ့ဒါကိုဘာမှလည်း
arrestee
ကျွန်တော်တို့
were sent to their parents, but for the 5 adults, no news about them anymore.
စစ်ကြောင်းကျွန်တော်
They
တို့
are being chased and
Holy.
arrested
ရတယ်
by this
ဟိုပြအဲ့တော့တောရဲရပဲကျွန်တော်
military special unit.
တင်းနေနေ
They were
တင်းနေခွဲလိုက်တယ်ကျွန်တော်ကစစ်ကြောင်းနေပြ
sent
တော့
to the jungle.
သူတို့ကအဲ့ပေါ်တာသမားတွေကိုထည့်လိုက်တယ်ဗျဒါပေမဲ့အဲ့ပေါ်တာသမားတွေကို
They were
Say that-
used
အဲ့စစ်ကြောင်းတစ်ပတ်မှာ
as the
တငယ်ချင်းတယောက်ပါတယ်ဗျ
carrier, load carrier, the porters,
အထင်ကတော့ဒီလူတွေကိုပစ္စည်း
and
တဲ့ခိုင်းနေသူတို့လေးလို့အရာရှိတွေမနိုင်လို့တဲ့ခိုင်းတော့
I just thought that
ကျွန်တော်အဲ့လိုပဲထင်ခဲ့တယ်ဗျ
they will be released after they use
Cannot-
them as supporters, but it was not the case.
နောက်စခန်းရောက်ပြီး9ရက်လောက်နေတဲ့အချိန်မှာ
What happened is that after 5 days of marching in the jungle, my friend in this journey showed me a video file and said that
ဘို့ထဲ
it
မှာ
is
စာရေး
a
သွားကြည့်ရဗျ
confidential video. I watched this video
အောင်စင်နာအတူတူ
in
ပြင်မှာလဲရန်ကုန်မှာလဲတူတူနေလာခဲ့တဲ့တကယ်
in a bush because I have the impression that this video file can be a very sensitive one. So what happened is
အဲ့နာမှာ
that
တော့သူတို့က
in this video,
အ
I
လူကြီး
saw
9ရက်ဗျသူ
I was watching the scenes that the porter guys
အဲ့ဒါဖြစ်ခဲ့တာတော့ကြာ
were asked to dig a hole on the ground once they reach to the destination
အပြစ်နာသားမရှိ
and
ဘာ
they
မှမတွေ့
were shot by their
နောက်ပြီးတော့
superiors
ကျွန်
and
တော်တို့
all the
တိုက်
bodies
ပွဲမှာကျွန်တော်ဘာတွေစဉ်းစားမိ
were
လဲဆိုတော့
buried
ကျွန်တော်တို့စကန်ထိုင်
in
နေချိန်မှာကျွန်
the
တော်တို့
holes
ဟိုလာ
that
ပြီး
they dig themselves.
ပြစ်တာတော့ကျွန်တော်ဘယ်ဖွဲ့ပြီး
So this is what happened
သူတို့လည်းမသိ
to
ဘူးဟိုဘက်လာပြစ်တဲ့လူ
the
တွေဟို
three
ဘက်လည်းမသိပဲနဲ့
ex-soldiers
ကျွန်တော်အတိအကျမသိပဲနဲ့
who
ဟို
were
ဘက်ကပြန်
arrested
ပြစ်တဲ့လက်နက်ကြီးတွေအား
by the
ဒါလည်းပဲ
military special unit
လို့
and
ပဲ
asked to be
အဲ့ရွာလည်းပဲကြပြီ
the load carrier, the porters. So what I'm trying to say is that
တော့ပို့ဆိုးပါ
whenever there are all this
အိမ်ကြီးကျွန်တော်တို့အဲ့
um,
ဘယ်ဖြစ်ပြီးတဲ့အချိန်ကျွန်တော်ကြ
military
ည့်ပြီး
military
နေလည်း
operation,
လည်းအမြောက်များစွာပျက်
the
စီးတော့လည်း
village
ကျွန်တော်
got
တွေ့ခဲ့ရတယ်
destroyed,
ကျွန်တော်တို့ပြန်ပြီးတော့
the house were destroyed, the house were burned, the village were completely destroyed by the
ကောင်း
troops.
ကျင်ကြရဖြစ်တယ်
So I felt very
အဝင်ထမ်းဆောင်လို့မရတော့ဘူးလည်းကျွန်တော်သိခဲ့
I
သိခဲ့တဲ့ပုံမှာကျွန်တော်
know
ထွက်ပြေးကျွန်တော်
with
ထွက်ပြေးတဲ့အချိန်
my
မှာ
own cautious mind that I cannot walk in this
ကျွန်တော်ပြေး
military anymore. I did not know about the CDM. I just ran
သိမယ်မသိဒါပေမဲ့
away out of the military. It's just a matter
ပြီးတာပဲ
of
အခုချိန်မှာထောင်ချတာ
do
ပါ
or die.
အဲ့ဝက်ပြောက်သုံးနေပဲ
The
သူက
thing
တော့
is that if I would be arrested, they will kill me. I know that, but I can no longer be in this troop.
ကံကောင်းတယ်ဆိုမဲ့ပြင်ပန်းတော့ခံရတာပေါ့နော်ကိုက
I am
အဲတော့
very, very fortunate that I was not arrested.
မုံချောင်းနဲ့
I was in the jungle for 5 days hiding from this
တစ်ခုရှိတာ
military special unit arresting me. Nothing to eat.
တို့ဒီဘက်
There were only the corns. I just eat the corn.
ကျွန်တော်အရင်လဲကြောက်တယ်
And after 5 days,
အခုချိန်မှာစစ်သားတွေ
I
တော့
happened to meet with the revolutionary troops.
ပထမပိုင်းတော့
We were very terrified. I thought that they killed me.
ကရင်ပြည်နယ်ဆို
The
တော့
thing is that I
မြန်မာဆိုရင်တော့မြန်မာဆိုရင်စစ်သားပဲရှိတယ်ဗျာဒါလူတိုင်း
did
သိနေတာ
not speak
အဲ့
the
လိုခါကျ
language.
နောက်ဆုံးမှ
Their
ကျွန်တော်မှန်တိုင်း
language.
ပြသလိုက်တယ်
I was in A&E area and I explained to them
စစ်တမ်းနဲ့ကောင်း
all
ပဲ
the details. But I was treated very, very well. So they
ဟုတ်ကဲ့ပါဟုတ်ကဲ့
gave me
ကျေးဇူး
food,
တင်ပါတယ်
they
ဒါ
gave me
တော့
shelter.
တက်တာ
I
ကိုကို
can
ဒီရှေ့တန်း
not complain anything. There is nothing to be complained. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing your experience. So this is your
အစ်အဆန်းတွေဖြစ်မှာပေါ့နော်ဒါပေမဲ့
first-hand experience from the front line, and it might be a very, very new experience for our audience. And all of these experience
ဘာကြောင့်မလို့စစ်
should
တပ်
be
ကို
heard by the soldiers of the military. Why they should leave the military, how they should leave the military, what are the things that
မေးတဲ့အချိန်မှာအခုဒီမှာမေးခွန်းတအားကောင်းတယ်
it's made to leave the military. And all of these should be heard by the soldiers
မေးခွန်းကိုပြည်သူတွေမေးတဲ့မေး
of
ခွ
the
န်း
military.
လောက်ကို
Only then they would realize that they should take their direction as the defectors. Now, I would like to give the floor to Medicho. I have a specific question to you before our conclusion. I have a particular question to you. As we heard all the reasons and experience of joining the civil disobedience movement, my question is what are the things that made you to be proud in standing together with the people? And there are questions in the chat box that I want to ask you.
ဟိုဘာဘလို့အားပေးမှုတွေကလိုအပ်နေတယ်လဲ
Is
ပေါ့နော်
the number of defection increase? What are still require to have more motivation for the defection. Can you please elaborate all of these answers in your in your response? Thank you. Thank you very much. Talking about joining the defection movement, standing together with the people, we are proud ourselves. For me, what I can say is that there is this self consciousness that tells me that I can be proud of myself. I don't need people to tell me that they are proud about us, but I want to be proud of ourselves. People call the soldier the military dogs. Why they hate so much of the military? Well, the soldiers obey the evil dictators. So I am proud that I no longer live under such evil dictators. I am proud of my husband as well. My husband never turned his back against the people. People believe it or not, but I believe in my husband that my husband never go against the wishes of the people. And another thing that I would like to say is that after the data, my husband really understand that how much that I worried about him. If I mean with the my concern that if he would just follow the direction of the military leadership, and I worried about him so much, but I didn't openly talk about my concern, my worry to him. So basically, my husband's phone was tapped by his superior, and his superior might have a sense that he would not just obey what he was told. But anyway, we managed to be part of this civil disobedient movement. What happened? We feel secured. We don't have to worry about whether we will be killed by this very own institution. And we feel very proud that we standing together with the people. And once we reach in Kachin area, and one of the leaders of the KNU warmly welcome our family, job and providing job, providing all the basic necessities were helped. We are very thankful. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that the Kachin organization that were smashed by the military welcome their ex-soldier, their ex-enemies. We are very thankful for this fact alone. And another thing that I would like to say is that we are much more informative We are much more exposed to technology, internet. That is what I'm trying to say. We are exposed to all sort of information, including human rights. We never knew, we did not know anything about it before. We are made aware of all the important knowledge. We are assisted by People Embrace Program, Badao organization, etc., etc. And we are provided with dry rations by our revolutionary government. And we are also assisted by the CSOs, CPOs. What I'm trying to say is that just take the side with the people. And as long as you are taking the side of the people take care of you. The people will never let you go hungry. Of course, you cannot you cannot expect that you would be rich. You are not, making business of taking the defection roads. But the people love you once you are there for them. There are all sort of public activities. There are all sort of public serving activities, and all of them will make you meaningful to live your life. That is what I'm doing, actually. The public services activities are what I am participating now. We are leaving out of the military evils. Would this number increase these days? I say yes. And this there is this change of information. There are exchange of information from one CDMRs to the other potential CDMRs. They are friends. There are many, many potential CDMRs. Of course, defectors and defection is not about the public activities. You need to be low profile in such process. So that's why we will not see on the surface of such kind of processes. Well, now talking about motivation to be a defector, again, what I would like to say to all of the military soldiers is that please join the hands with the people. And if your situation is not possible at all for physical defection, please help the people's government, that is, the national unity government, by providing inside military inside information to them. That is how you can be useful. This is how you can work for the people. Working for the people, you will never go wrong. Working for the people, you will never go hungry. People are there for you to take care of you as long as you protect them. But don't listen to the lobby, the military lobby. But you just have to watch them. You just have to monitor them. You just have to collect the military intelligence and share to the revolutionary side. And this is how you can work for the public. There are process, there are all these um, procedures, process that information can be sent, and we from our side are here to pull you out of the military. There are all sort of process, procedures, ways, methods, and everything. And for us, it is very important that the soldiers to stand together and to work for the public. Of course, it will be very difficult to persuade or to convince the military leadership to take the defection road. But the role of the soldiers are very important in this defection movement. And the wives of the soldiers even play very critical role for the success of the defection movement. Now talking about the life of the wives of the soldiers, we are completely make our eyes shut by the military institution. We knew nothing when we were in the military camp. But in this civil disobedience movement, in this defection movement, the wives are made aware of all the very important information of the life that you live. You know about internet now. You know about all the information to live your own life. So please convince and persuade your own husbands to take the road of the defection. Nothing is to be depressed to be in this movement, but there are only things to be depressed in the military. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing your information. Now, I would like to invite again the Captain Win Nine So to respond some of the questions. One of the question is about whether the new CDMRs or the defectors can be trusted. That is one of the questions that I would like you to respond. Are there any drugs that the soldiers are provided for? Can you also please share your opinion about it as well? And there is another question asking if the defector should have impunity for war crime. Can you please respond these three questions? Thank you. About the new defectors, can they be trusted? If this is such a question, then I would like to simply say that the background of these individuals are to be checked first, and the behaviors of the new defectors are to be monitored, of course, and one can never be certain about that people can be trusted. For sure, no, you can never be sure about it. And again, as you know, that the military uh, have all these cunning tactics to send their spies everywhere. Some of their spies are disguised as a beggars. Some of their spies are disguised as the CDMRs, etc., etc. So again, you need to monitor everything. So what I experience is that, and two of my colleagues join the CDMRs as the spies. Actually, one of them is from the uh, uh, me- medical troops. But the thing is that the enemy, our enemy, uh, I mean, there is a saying is that you really need to know your own enemies. So the military, of course, in that case, try to understand their own enemies as well. So I can never say that uh, there is no spies. No, I can never say that, and nobody can say about it as well. So whoever your enemy is, and whichever battlefield that you're in, you need to have the functioning and you need to have the operating um, uh, sense of suspicion. So there is a need to have suspicion to be effective and efficient in this part of in this part of the job. So we need to know we need to know our enemies as well, and the military it's in the same positions as well. So in the uh, in the village, for example, of course, in the village, they will not tell everything if they don't believe. Uh, so we are not trusted by the villagers. So that's why they did not share about the revolutionary forces as well. So what I'm trying to say is that it is uh, it is not possible uh, to have no spies. So you need to have a level of suspicion. Talking about the drugs, and they do not provide drugs to their soldiers. Of course, they may involve in the drug business for the leadership position. Um, but then again, there is no uh, program or there is no uh, 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 situation that the military provide drugs to the soldiers. It might happen for some of the ad hoc cases that the captain or the leader gave drugs to the soldiers, but not for free. So what happened is that what I'm trying to say is that there is no systematic provision of the drug to the soldiers. But there are some drug cases definitely happen on the ground, but again, it is for the illegal activities that the leaders might sell them to the soldiers for their business. And can you please repeat the last question as well, the third question as well? Well, the third question is about if the defector should have impunity for war crimes. Well, again, if they uh, if they committed war crimes, then the defectors should not have such impunity. Now we are talking about legal aspect. Again, if the defector might have sort of a compliance activity, then it is again it has to be as it is. So, for example, if a defector before defecting committing the crime, then the crime that this person committed, that person needs to take accountability and responsibility. So law is just law. That is what I'm trying to say. Thank you.
ဆွေးနွေးသွားတာဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဆိုတော့ဒီဆွေးနွေးပွဲအစဆုံးကိုကြည့်လိုက်တဲ့အချိန်မှာပထမအချက်က
And
စစ်တပ်ဟာ
now
ဒီစစ်ရာဆွေးမှုပေါင်းရောက်
I would like to
သူတွေကို
conclude
ကိုယ့်
this
ရဲ့တပ်
session
သားတွေကိုလည်း
with the
ကျွေးမွေး
title Why They Leave
တစ်
the
ဖက်မှာ
Military.
ရှိရတဲ့ဒီစစ်တပ်ဟာကိုယ့်ရဲ့ပြည်
We
သူတွေ
heard all of this information, concluding
တပ်သား
to
များ
all of
များ
us that
နော်
the military
ဒီ
itself
ခတ်အောင်
is
ပဲလုပ်ခဲ့တယ်
committing all sort of
ဒါကြောင့်မို့ဒီအကြောင်းအရာ
injustice
ကလည်းစစ်တပ်ကိုစွန့်ခွာသွားတဲ့အကြောင်းအရာကြီးတွေကတစ်ခုလို့ကျွန်မ
to
မြင်
its own soldiers.
မှာဒီကအချက်ပြန်ပြီး
So
တွေ့ရ
the
တာ
soldiers are leaving
ကလူတစ်စုဆောင်
the
လုပ်ခဲ့တာ
military
ရှိလို့
that they
ပြည်သူတွေကိုကာကွယ်မယ်ဆိုတဲ့
belong
စိတ်နဲ့
to
ခဲ့တာဖြစ်ပါတယ်
since
ဒါပေမဲ့လည်း
they
တမတော်
feel all sort of grievances. And some of the
ဘုံချမှု
defectors
တွေဟာပြည်သူမဟုတ်ဘဲနဲ့
join in the defection movement
ပြီးရင်ဒါကိုကာကွယ်ရမယ့်ပြည်
with
သူ
the
တွေကို
spirit of wanting to protect its own people.
ညီမျှမှုမရှိလို့ပြန်
And
ပြီးတော့စွန့်ခွာခဲ့တဲ့သူတွေ
there are
ရှိ
no
အများကြီးပဲဆို
values,
တဲ့အရာကိုအပြီးတွေ့ရ
there
တယ်
are no justice in such institutions.
ဟိုလက်နက်ချပြီးတော့
These
ဒီဘက်
are
ကို
the
ပြောင်း
main
ရေး
motivators
ထောင်ခံရှိပြီးဆို
for
တဲ့
the
အရာကိုကျွန်
defectors.
တော်တို့တွားပြီးတော့တွေ့ရတာဖြစ်ပါတယ်
There
တစ်ဖက်မှာလည်းဒီလို
are
မျိုး
over 4,000 defectors
အရက်သားဘက်ကိုကျွန်
that
တော်တို့အခုပြောင်းလုပ်လိုက်
the
တဲ့
People Embrace program recorded.
တွားတဲ့အရာတွေပြီးရင်ပြည်
And
သူတွေရဲ့ဒီ
human value,
တွေကိုပေါ့နော်ပြီးရင်
human
ဒါ
integrity,
သူတယောက်အနေနဲ့ယက်တီရခြင်းရဲ့
the
အိတ်တွေကိုပို့ပြီးတော့သူတို့
individual grievances,
သိရှိလာတယ်ဆိုတဲ့အကြောင်းအရာ
the
လေး
meaningful lives
ဆိုတော့ဟိုအချုပ်အနေနဲ့ပြောရမယ်
are
ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်
everything that the defectors
ဟိုဒီပြည်သူတွေကိုအနိုင်ကျင့်ကိုကြနေတဲ့ဒီလိုမျိုး
after taking the defection
သူ့ရဲ့
road,
ကြာရှုံးခံကရောက်တော့မှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်တပ်တွ
the
င်းထဲမှာ
bullying
ရှင်လည်းအသွေးခေါ်ပြောင်းလဲမှုတွေအကြီးကြီးဖြစ်
military,
အထိတ်ဆက်တွေနဲ့
the ends of it,
ဒါ
it's about to be reached, I would say.
တစ်ဖက်မှာလည်းလူအင်အားမရှိတော့တဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်မ
On
လို့
top of that,
ဒါရှေ့တန်းစစ်မျက်နှာပြင်မှာ
there are
ဟိုခိုင်းစီဒါ
many,
မျိုး
many
အများကြီးကျမတို့တွေ့နေရတာဖြစ်ပါတယ်
defectors
ဒါကြောင့်
number
မို့
increasing
ဟို
each
ဒီ
days.
ပေါ့နော်
And
ဒီအစီအစဉ်ကိုနားတော့
on the other hand,
သူတွေအနေနဲ့
the
က
militaries are now left with all these
ဒီဘက်ကနေ
inefficient,
ကြိုဆိုပြီးတော့
incapable
ဆိုတဲ့အကြောင်းအရာလေး
soldiers.
ကျမတို့တန်ဖိုးရှိလာတဲ့ဒီဘဝ
Again,
အတွေ့အကြုံ
for
ကနေ
the
နားတော့တတ်စနေမယ်လို့ကျမမျှော်လင့်ပါတယ်
people
ဆိုတော့ကျမတို့ရဲ့
and
အစီအစဉ်
audience
ကို
and public,
နားတော့တတ်စနေတဲ့ live
hope
stream
that you find today's program very valuable
ပါ
for
ဝင်
you,
ပြီးတော့
since
ပေးတဲ့
all of these
CDM
informations are the first-hand information
တက်တာ
that you have observed.
CDM တက်ချက်
And
ကြီးစနည်း
CDM Captain Winanso, CDM Private Coco 9, CDM Surgeon Wives Medicho, thank you very much to all of you. This is the end of our 88th program of process. By this, I say good night to all of you, and I wish you best until we meet again. Thank you.